Hey kids, welcome back to Worth the Spin. I'm your host, just Jack, just me. Alrighty, we're moving on here. And what is in Jack's record collection? Beatles edition. I know. Alrighty, so now we're moving on. So we're going to move on to the next classic hit album of the Beatles. With the Beatles. Released November 22nd, 1963. Alright, this is another one I got in England, but I did not get it at... I actually got this one. This is a story. Hope you like stories. I do. I got this one from a guy. I don't know if in England, I think maybe it's the same with you guys. But here in America, you're always told as a child, stay away from guys offering you stuff out of white panel vans with no windows. That's because, it's back a long time ago, kidnappers and stuff like that. Probably really shouldn't make a joke out of it, but... So, anyway, I guess it's kind of a thing in Europe, too, because my buddy was nervous. So when we went to Europe and we stayed, and one of my first purchases was this album here. And it was not at Rockabye. It was at empty lot and next to a building where a guy in a white panel van. So when I got over there, I got to my buddy's house. I looked on Facebook Marketplace to see if anybody in his area happened to have any Beatle albums up on Facebook Marketplace for sale that I could get cheap. And I came up with this guy who had this one here. And he was advertising it, and I forget how much it was, but anyway, I'm like, man, that's a good deal. So I asked my buddy, I said, hey, do you know where his address is? And he said, well, yeah, we're going to go to a place in a couple of days. We're going to take you to a place called, an arcade, to the arcade. He called it the arcade. But it's like a giant mall, 2-3-story mall it's really incredible with this big, like, fair and rides and stuff going on outside. And inside was all these shops, and there's a lot of shops that made fresh goods and sold them, or fresh fish, but then there was like bookstores and clothing stores, and it was just, really big place. It was really, really, really awesome. You could probably spend 3 days there to see everything, which we didn't have that kind of time. But anyway, so yeah, he's kind of on the way there. What's the deal? I was supposed to have a Beatle album, and I would like to buy it, and it's whatever it was, X amount of pounds. I go, that seemed like a good deal to you? And he's like, well, yeah. He goes, but you gotta be cautious, just kind of meeting people. I'm like, oh, I know, that's the same way at home, but it'll be all right. So we're going there, and he gives us his address, and it's my buddy says, well, it's like a vacant lot where it was a building, but it was tore down, and there's some buildings next to it, and he's like, I don't know about this. It seems a little sketchy. And I'm like, oh, it'll be all right. And I'm not too worried about it. Him and his whole family, we're a little worried. My wife is always worried about me and my excursions, but. So I'm like, well, I think it'll be all right. So we'll go there. So we go there, and we pull up along the side of the street, and I message this guy, and he says, I'm here. I'm in the van, the white van across, over in this lot. And we look over, and here's this white panel van with no windows sitting over here in this vacant lot. And so, like I said, everybody was a little nervous. I wasn't, because, I don't know, that's just me. So I go traveling over there, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm here for that Beatles album. He goes, this one here? And I'm like, yeah, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm really not knowing the money. I had asked my buddy ahead of time to make sure I got the right amount of money, help me out with this. And so I walked in, and I go, this right? And he's like, yeah. There you go, enjoy. I said, yeah, thanks, man, I will. And that was that, and I walked off. It's no big deal, see? I'm not going to wind up in a freezer. I haven't yet. So anyway, that's the story behind it. I think it's interesting, but maybe it's just me. So this copy here, and one of the things that's really cool is this is the error copy. So it has an error on the cover and an error on the vinyl itself. So on the cover for side 2, song 3, should be You Really Got a Hold on Me, and this says You Really Got a Hold on Me, and if you look at that, you'll see it. And this is in pretty good condition. The vinyl, I think, is in really good condition. The back's not bad. It's a little dirty. I've had some luck cleaning it up a little bit. Most of the wear is right where the record in and out. And same with the front. Most of the wear seems to be right there. So it was a very well played album. Obviously, it was taken in and out of the sleeve. And then it has some wrinkling down here, but that's okay because these laminated covers hold up very well. So I'm very happy with it. And then the vinyl itself, it looks very nice. It has some surface scratching on it, but it's not what we call feelers, so you can't like put a fingernail or nothing like that down in there, but it's a little bit more than just like, you know, where it was set down on other sleeves or whatever and kind of slid across stuff, and which makes surface scratching, which is just, you know, no really big deal, I don't think. So the label for the publishing company on here, it has the Joe Bet era, so that's on side 2, song 7, Money. Let me see, I'm trying to find a good way to show you. I'll give you a minute to scope it out. You see it down there, and that is the Joe Bet era. So it's pretty cool because it has that. And when I went to the shop, that this was a lot more expensive album, a lot more expensive, because it had the error on the label. And they had different versions. They had the cover which had the correct spelling on it, and then covers with the wrong spelling on it, but would have the record with the correct spelling on it, but some with the, you know what I'm saying? So there were like, there's 2 or 3 different ways you could have found this album. The album cover could have the correct spelling, yet the label didn't, or the label had a correct spelling and the album cover didn't. I didn't see any at the shop that had both. So this having both errors was pretty cool. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. I have 2 versions of with the Beatles. I have my stereo copy, which I picked up, and it is a 4th pressing from '69. And this is in shrink, so the cover's still in really good condition. I think it has might have a little, no, some of it looks like wrinkles. It's just the plastic that's on it. And I forgot to show you in the other one. So this, like I said, this is a repress, and it comes with the repress cover, which has, if I could do it correctly, Sgt. Pepper on there. So that is pretty cool. So this is my stereo copy because I wanted to get them all in mono and stereo, but I couldn't afford to do both for sure. So I was more worried about mono copies. So I picked this one up later on down the road through the mail. So, and the funny thing is, this is still got on the record itself, on the cover itself, it has the stereo 4th pressing has the wrong spelling on there. Yet, if you look on the vinyl, which is mint, this is one that I opened up. So the first time this has ever been played was by me. So if you go down to Money, right there you will see the correct publishing company spelling on there where it's fixed. So that's a little interesting that it's still on the cover, that they're still using covers that had the misspelling, whereas the vinyl has the correct spelling on it. I pulled the record out because it was facing the wrong way to put it back in the same, facing the wrong way. So anyways, that's my stereo copies. That's the 2 I have on that. And here's a funny little footnote. So we talked about my Please Please Me's, and I had 3. I actually have 4. I forgot I have a stereo pressing of Please Please Me 2 over there. But we've already talked about that, so we moved on from that. Alright, so album, you know I'm going to say worth the spend. Big Beatles fan. 99.9% of everything I just love to death. And the ones I don't love to death, I still love. So I love this album. It's got a lot of great stuff on here. Of course, you know, I mean, a lot of early Beatles is great stuff. Even stuff that just covers that they did that weren't originals are still, you know, their versions are just fantastic. You know, I love, you know, All I Gotta Do, All My Loving, Till There Was You. I love that. I would love to be able to learn the guitar for that. Please Mr. Postman, which is a song that I never really was a fan of the original version, but the Beatles, I love their version of it. You Really Gotta Hold On Me. You pick which one you want to use. I Want to Be Your Man. Not a Second Time. Money is all just great stuff. I love this stuff. And to me, again, I think I might have said this last time, to me, the UK versions, if you listen to the UK versions, the Beatles don't seem to be stuck in that Love Me Do era of their career for more than a couple of albums, whereas in America we've cut songs off and added them and made up other records to make more money off of the Beatles back then. So it's like they're stuck in that Love Me Do era, if I'm phrasing that correctly, for, it seems like, for years. But I love the early stuff. I like the later stuff the better. I love when of course, it's more experimental stuff and more, I don't know, I don't say grown-up music. I don't know. But I think the Beatles were a pop band for these two albums only. I think with the Beatles and Please Please Me were the Beatles pop music era. And I think after that, I think they moved on and they evolved to me rather quickly in their style and type of music that they sung. So we're going to move on to the next one because I only have the two versions of this. I only have one version of this. Technically I have two, but I haven't gotten the second one yet. Something flew in the floor. I wanted to see what it was. So the next one up, the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. This is January 10th, 1964. This is a first pressing UK copy. Came from Rockabye. So I do have a second copy. It's a Record Store Day exclusive from, I think, 2 years ago. It's a white vinyl one, but I don't have it. My buddy got it for me, who lives over there, who I stayed with for a while. He went and got it for me from a shop there, and he's yet to been able to get it in the mail to me. So I've been waiting on that for about 2 years. He still got it. I just haven't gotten it yet. So when I get it, I'll have the UK Record Store Day exclusive white vinyl version of it. So I'm hoping to get that fairly soon. Originally, he was going to make a trip back over here after it came out, but things, economy and other stuff and that just happened, and then the trip just wound up having to get canceled. And then last year, the plan to come over here wound up kids in school and stuff just didn't happen. So he's still holding on to it because he wants to bring it over when he comes over with some other things he has for me. But I think I'm just gonna probably just send him the money and stuff and say, hey, I'll pay the tariffs and all the other crazy stuff and just get it, because I just kind of like to get it out in my hands, So anyway, the difference on this, and this is a far better version, of course, than the American version, because number one, this is all Beatles songs. You have the songs from the movie, and then you have the new additional songs that the Beatles put on here, so that you got no filler and no repeated stuff. Where here in America we got, and nothing against the instrumental stuff, I'm not a big instrumental kind of guy, so I wish they had done it, at least the American one. I wish they would have done like they did in Yellow Submarine. You had all the music stuff, the movie songs on one side and the instrumentals on the other. I would have liked that a whole lot better myself, because then I wouldn't listen to side two. I mean, I'm just not an instrumental guy. They're not bad, they're good. Mr. Martin did a good job. I'm not a fan of instrumentals per se. So yeah, so this is the better version, of course, because it's all just regular songs. I like this movie, and then when we went to England, we went on a Beatles tour, and it started out at the train station where the opening of A Hard Day's Night is, where you see the Beatles come running down the alley and the fans are chasing them. And we were there looking down that alley, and he's like, this is where this scene was filmed, and we went in and, and all that. And so it's really cool. So once you do something like that, then when you listen to something like this, it means more, because it's like, as it's playing and you're thinking about these scenes in the movie, you're like, wow, I was standing right there. I was where they filmed that. And you know what I'm saying? And it's just that much more cooler. So, yeah, so this is the first pressing. The cover's really good. This one, too, has most of its wear seems to be on the edge where you pull the record in and out. More on the back than the front, but it's in really good condition. And it, of course, comes with the original inner sleeve, yellowed up, beat up, but that's okay, because I don't store the record in it anyway. So yeah, so that's cool. And this is one I think too that when we at the shop we had to search for. Here, I usually don't show the ends. People do. To find a really nice copy, because they had quite a few, but they were kind of beat up because it was obviously a well-loved record by people and they played it a lot. So my copy would be pretty good. It's got surface scratching on it. It's more of stuff from being set down on stuff and scooted across back and forth, or the old turntables where you could stack records and they would drop, and when they drop they automatically start turning because the record on the bottom's turning and all the one's not, so when it drops it automatically just kind of scuffs them up a little bit. But that's your label for you who may not know what it looks like. I'm sure all of you do. So there you go. So that's pretty good. Sounds great. Again, these records, they were made to last. You could get, in the shop they had ones that they put on that were a lot more scuffed and kind of beat up than what I really wanted to pay for. And they played really, really good. Very minimal static and no clicks or pops. And it's just, these things were built to be played. That's what they were made for, is to play and play a lot. And the quality that went into the vinyl on that, it shows, because still, even today, these things just play and they sound fantastic. Of course, it's a lot of it too. You have to clean, keep your things clean, and keep dust away from them, and that helps a lot. But yeah, it's fantastic sounding. So Help is a fantastic album, soundtrack, whatever. Hard Day. What can you say? Hard Day's Night, If I Fell. Not as crazy about I'm Happy Just to Dance with You. And I Love Her. I love Can't Buy Me Love. Anytime at All. I love that. Things We Said Today, When I Get Home. It's all really, really just fantastic songs. I love everything on here, and there's lots of, they're all pretty much favorites. There's nothing on here I'm not that crazy about. And you'll find, of course, as we go on, I'm a Beatles fan, and I'm a big fan for a reason. And reason is I love everything. So it's just kind of hard for me to say, I don't like this song, I don't like that song. And as we go on, you'll find out you're not going to hear that, because there's one album I'm not as big a fan of. I know it was a huge seller when it came out, and it's kind of been, and we're getting up to it, and it's next, and it's kind of debated, I think, as far as how good of an album it really was versus what people conceive of it being. Well, I don't know. We'll talk more about it on the next video. And but that's the only album that I kind of go, it's not really one of my favorites, because it doesn't have a lot of songs on there that. So 99.9% I totally love. The 0.1 that I don't totally love but still love is on this album. I'll say that. Not at all saying it's a bad album. It's a great album. It sold like crazy when it came out. Imagine that. But it's just not in my 99.9%. I don't know. Still love it. I probably didn't explain it right. Alright, so today we've talked about With the Beatles and A Hard Day's Night. Gotta love it. That's a horrible, I don't think that was even in the song, was it? Alright, anyway, thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for all the comments. I love the comments. I've been getting quite a few comments on video before, and that's cool. I love that. I love seeing people's comments and responses. Picked up a couple new subscribers. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're getting something out of this channel, because it would be no fun if I was just doing this and nobody really watched it, and it's like one view out there and nobody's like, what are you doing this for? Nobody even watches those things. It's more fun when people watch and interact, and so that's really cool. So I appreciate it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. My fancy graphics I moved them. Subscribe if you'd like to know when I have new video content up. Hint, hint, it'll probably be a lot for a little while here, because having surgery on Tuesday, and I will be out of work for a while, because they won't let me go back. So I'll be out for a little while. So that gives me a chance to do some videos and kind of get caught up on some things because I'm having a lot of time here in the house. So I've got to do something. So hopefully you'll enjoy these videos, and we'll have some interesting content as we go forward. And that's that. All right, again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking this video. Thanks for subscribing if you've done that. Let's all go out there and spread a little love, because there's not enough. Went shopping yesterday with the wife, and there is not a very much love out there in that grocery aisle. Let me say that. Do one good deed for somebody today, if you don't mind. If you have time, please. Open the door for them. Tell them their hair looks nice. Say, hey, how you doing? Have a good day. Whatever, you know. One good deed. If we all could do one good deed, and we could ask somebody else to do that one good deed too, then it would spread out to more good deeds. And before you know it, hey, who knows? Let's in a crazy, improbable world, maybe we'll all start doing good deeds for people and make everybody's life better. It's just a chance. Also received something in the mail yesterday. We'll talk about that. Nothing super exciting. I got the Happy Christmas War is Over, the new release that they did with that. I have the original. I have two versions of the original, the green vinyl and the black vinyl. So this is just a repressing. But still, I got that. And I got the Rupert the Frog picture disc thingy of Paul's that they re-released. That, not a big fan of that song, but you know, you got to fill the collection with something. Might as well fill it with Beatles music. That's right. Solo or Beatles. It's all good. I love it all. Alrighty. Again, thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic time out there. It's very cold here where I'm at, so hopefully it's warmer where you're at. And we'll see you next video. Thanks for tuning in.